Namaskar. Welcome to this special edition where we are delighted to be welcoming someone from New Jersey who has been a community friend for many years socially, as well as he has been active politically and has served community in Edison in several positions, several ways, and now that he has thrown his hat in the race of mayor. So Edison mayoral candidate Mahesh Bhagia ji joins me. Namaste, welcome.
Namaste. Good afternoon. Thank you, Ashokji, for having me today. And thank you, ITV, for giving me this opportunity to discuss me and my team's ideas regarding how we can help Edison residents with me being a mayor candidate.
Wonderful. So let us begin by seeking your help in understanding the role of a mayor. And even before that, if I may request you, you have been at the forefront on several issues in Edison, working with community members. How do you see the specific needs of people in Edison where you feel your contribution as mayor would be helpful?
So, Ashokji, me and my family moved in this town almost 20 years ago. And me and my family chose Edison for two big reasons, right? First of all, Edison is a diverse town with which welcomes the new immigrants into the town. It's like our melting pot. Second thing is Edison has also great schools where we can provide our kids, good education and good environment to foster. So those are the two big reasons for me and my wife to move into Edison. And currently, I'm a small business owner, and my wife is a local dentist here. And I have two daughters. One is 15 and one is 9. In the past, I worked as a vice president for a major financial company as a vice president for research and development. On the background, education-wise, I have a master's in computer science from the Pace University in New York. So with this background, uh, what a mayor's role is, a mayor's role is like a chief executive officer of a corporate called Edison, which manages, day-to-day operations of managing almost 750 to 800 employees. We are serving 100,000 plus residents slash customers, and we are managing $150 million budget. So with my background working in the corporate and as a small business owner, and also my experience working last 3 years in the administration puts me in a very unique position with the public and the private experience to serve this town as the next mayor of Edison.
Absolutely,
Uh,
I'm delighted you shared your journey, and there is a wholesome approach with which you function. So let us look at Edison as a whole, and
yes.
where you feel people have their main concerns that they want the mayor to address. And if there is something where you, as a citizen living there in Edison, you want the political leadership to pay specific attention. What are those areas in Edison?
Correct. So what has happened is my opponent, who is currently in the administration, what has happened is all these years, our taxes, since I moved here in 2001, right? Our taxes have gone up, year after year, right? And just last 3 years, they have gone up 15%. Okay. And during the year of pandemic, which most of us feel difficulty, last year they went up by 6%. And also at the same time, the services have been going down. Our quality of life has suffered substantially in last couple of years. What has happened is there are many warehouses, that have Edison has become like a hub of warehouses. Those are the only new business. Those are one of the big new businesses that are just coming into Edison, which impact greatly the quality of life because of the amount of traffic, truck traffic that they bring into this town. At the same time, 95% of the Edison residents don't find employment in the warehouses. So those are the big areas, that I find, have that need big improvement. One is, working on financial stability slash property taxes of this town, and second thing is the quality of life issues in this town.
So, just to understand a little bit more about the policy framework which determines whether there'll be businesses of this nature or that nature, uh, and if it is tied to economic needs and collection or increase in the revenue through taxes, then
Yes.
then maybe wholesale business owners are also contributing. But
Yes.
indeed, you mentioned correctly that it may not generate as much employment. Um, and if I may think loudly with you, the business or the entrepreneurs determine based on the location and
Yes.
the potential. So,
Yes.
and Edison, of course, is very well known as a business
Yes.
hub. So, talk to me about the main key areas where you feel there is a lot of potential for growth in business in Edison.
Correct. So Edison is very uniquely located in New Jersey, and Edison demographically also has a great residents with great educational background, great professional background. So what we need to do is we need to bring economic development office into the mayor's office that will work hand to hand with the administration. The economic development office job will be to match the type of industries that will help bring in additional revenue. At the same time, they will also bring in additional jobs for the local residents, right? And what I feel is Edison has a lot of talent, in IT, information technology background, into the professional degree backgrounds. So what we need to do is like I said, in the economic development office will again match it. But I feel like, we are very well suited to bring in a lot of, information technology companies into this town. We could actually become a Silicon Valley of Northeast. And also at the same time, we can also bring in banks and other professional pharma companies into this town where local residents can find high paying jobs so they don't have to travel. And so two things will be achieved with this, right? First of all, we'll get the revenue growth that is needed to stabilize the taxes in long term. And second thing is the local residents will also find jobs in these industries. So it helps on two fronts.
So you have laid out specific areas where there is potential growth,
Yeah.
and I must also share with you as well as our viewers that ITV Gold's office is also in the process of
Yes.
relocating in your area, Edison, very
Yes.
soon, and I think we'll have more participatory involvement with the growth of Edison, and hopefully you will be playing an important role at that time very soon. But let's look at the role that you have already played in terms of being active with educating people and working in several positions. Every time you do something new, sometimes there are people who you consider as your mentors, who guide you, who hold your hands in the beginning, or who shows you that this is how the system works. And Mahesh, if you work in this way, you would help the community, you would help yourself also. Talk to me about your initial days when you decided and you became active in the public life.
Correct. I come from more of a professional background, and I got into politics, trying to fight some neighborhood issues, and because of the activism and the grassroots level, and then trying to help the residents in this town. What I've seen is, currently I'm the chairman of the Edison Democratic Organization, but my past chairman, Dr. Paternity, he played a key role, with me when I initially started with the Democratic Party almost 12 to 15 years ago. He's been a great mentor. We ran, a couple of elections together, and he used to guide us. And also at the same time, I also looked at a lot of other other mayors in the past, what they did right, what they didn't do right, what policies that they initiated help the residents with the quality of life, and what mistakes they made. So if I get elected as a mayor, I hope not to repeat those mistakes, and at the same times, what things they did worked to help the residents, I want to do that and do them more with more ideas like that to help the residents of Edison.
So, while talking about helping the residents of Edison, if I may request you to share what has helped you in sustaining your commitment to serve the community. And I'm aware that if you are working in a public life, there are many instances when people don't understand you correctly, sometimes they misunderstand you, or sometimes there is this element, if you refer to that as envy, or if you refer to that as healthy opposition, whichever way it is, the struggle has many faces, and you have also faced your own share of such experiences. And
Yes.
without getting into the detail, there were some controversial wave which emerged to bring you down. How do you respond to such challenges, and any details that you may want to share?
Correct. So I have I'm a firm believer of, that I'm a servant leader. And when you are a servant leader, with all the positions that I have held in the past with many non-profit organizations, such as, FIA, the Lions Club, and many other, non-profit organizations. And even during helping the residents during last year, it just goes with the territory, when people see you, and they want to make it more political for every issue that you try to do. But that's just part of the life, I don't care much about that, because my passion for serving the community is here. And if other people want to bring me down here, it doesn't really bother me. And we with my all the experience I have, I feel like it will be my honor to serve the Edison residents and our community in any shape and form I can.
Okay, now let's talk about the demographic of Edison. And if I understand it correctly, there are about 40% South Asians residing in that area, which is quite a huge population. And out of these 40%, we have two individuals who are running for mayor. If you think, or anybody thinks that there is some sort of understanding among people that if someone from them becomes representative, it helps overall in connecting with the issues in certain way. And of
Yes.
course, there is the rest population also is there. So, talk to me. How are you addressing and reaching out to these both sides, if we refer to them just for the sake of understanding? So, South Asian residing in Edison and overall Edison population. What are your promises, and how do you see the scenario?
Correct. So from my from the mayor's standpoint and my standpoint, right? We are one Edison, right? And we need to find common ground to work with each other. With my unique experience in public and the private places, it puts me in a very unique position to serve the Edison residents. And like I said, my opponent, who has experience, but he doesn't have relevant experience to fulfill the job duties, that is required to serve the mayor, which is in more of an administration role, managing almost 700 850 employees and serving 100,000 plus residents. My goals, is to do a 0% property tax increase next year, 2020, with doing a lot of vendor reforms. Because what has happened is, this my opponent has been giving away all these vendor contracts without bids. This year itself, almost $1.5 million worth of contracts were just given out to the county vendors. Okay. and on top of it, we have been paying a lot of taxes to the county, and but we don't get any fair share back to from the county in terms of community center, recreation center, park improvements. So my goal again is to make sure do a 0% property tax increase next year, fight with the county to get the fair share back for the Edison residents, and then work on improving the township services. What has happened is our roads are our roads are in disrepair. Our infrastructure has aged, and our out of our 32 parks, most of the parks are not usable by the kids, by the adults, which is a big problem, which is a shame for a town like big like Edison. We should be having the one of the best parks, best recreation facilities in Edison, by paying so much high taxes in this town. So those are the two important goals from my side is work on the property taxes and improve the township services. And one other thing that I have heard many times is the mayor mayor office and the council, a lot of elected officials are not accessible, right? So I'm going to run a very open and transparent government, and at the same time we will also have open office hours during the evenings and the weekends, so that the mayor and our staff is also accessible to meet the residents, do the neighborhood town hall meetings, so we can understand what the neighborhood issues are, and so we can address them in a proper manner. So we will definitely be doing open office hours to work closely with the residents and change this town.
I'm so happy to hear that, Maheshji. And in you, I see there is a visionary and someone who is committed to serve. And in order to serve, you need to stay connected, and that transparency and openness in communicating definitely helps. And
Yes.
let me also think loudly with you as far as coming from South Asian background. I'm aware that there are several events that take place in Edison area. Many of them are cultural events, and indeed, when things are fine, people from India also come, artists come, etc. So,
Yes.
the question is, as a mayor, do you see there is some proactive approach that you can adopt in helping organizers as well as in
Yes.
encouraging those who are organizing? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course, that's a great question. One of the things that in my past experience, I have worked with many cultural associations, and as a mayor, I will encourage more of the cultural, involvement for many countries to come and use Edison, and so that we, in Edison, our kids, the residents here can learn about different cultures around the world, and we can live to, we understand, if we can understand each other's culture, and if it is that translates into developing a respect and trust for each other, which goes a long way. That's a type of a town we are Edison is, and I want to make sure that we take it to the next level too.
And Maheshji, I must also share a sense of relief now that we are almost on the threshold of moving beyond the impact of COVID-19, but there are lingering impact which are visible in the form of economic impact also. But let us
Yes.
look at the challenges which came at our doorsteps due to this COVID, and a lot of people tried to help overcome it, and you also did your bit in organized fashion as well as an individual. So tell me about your overall role where you felt you could be of some help for people.
Yes, yes. Ashok ji, I'm blessed and honored that I was one of the first ones, to understand the seriousness. My wife being a dentist, we spoke about this, about the impact that the COVID-19 can have and was already having in other countries like Italy and China. And so we acknowledged that this thing is a big, serious issue, and we were ready. I was one of the first, like I said, I was blessed and I'm honored that I was one of the first ones to help the Edison residents. What we did is we organized, me and my wife and my kids actually, and my friends, we made Ziploc bags of 2 masks, and we also we helped the seniors with those masks. Then the second thing we did is we also worked with the local 7-Eleven, and we distributed almost 4,000 masks during that time when masks were kind of a gold. You couldn't find them anywhere, and we distributed at no cost to the Edison residents. Then slowly, as the time progressed, we saw that there were many people who got furloughed or who lost their jobs, and they were having food issues. So we organized a pop-up. We call it food pantry, but we call it pop-up food pantry, where we supplied the residents with 1 week of grocery, raw materials, and some pre-packed lunches, so that they can sustain this COVID time. Then as the time moved forward, also small businesses suffered in a big way. Many restaurants were especially hurt in a big way. I come from the hotel industry, and as a small business owner, I saw this firsthand, that the restaurant industry and small businesses got impacted big time. So as a chairman of the Edison Democratic Organization, we started helping the small businesses by organizing Giving Tuesdays. We would go to small restaurants, uh, and help them give some money, and help them organize and do some marketing for them, and help them set up back and get back them on their feet. So these are some of the things we did during the last year. For the seniors, we did provide, again, we provided the mask, and later on when the vaccines were available, we helped seniors get appointments also. So again, as a mayor, I you know and the council, a lot of members were missing in action. Most of them provided just like updates to the numbers, what was happening. But I felt like the my opponent and the mayor didn't do anything really materially that would help Edison residents during the COVID time. So I hope, if I get elected as a mayor, we should be hand holding, and be more caring about the residents, especially the seniors who need us during this time. Whether it be some door services to their door, whether they need some vaccine services. We should have organized a mobile vaccine drive to help Edison seniors, so that they don't have to drive 1-2 hours just to get the vaccine. But like people, more people of Edison and seniors have my word that I will definitely be looking out for them.
Wonderful. I'm really happy to hear that. And I am also encouraged by the fact that you have also served as Edison Democratic Organization's chairman, and you have successfully shown how to work with a team, and as well as shown how to lead a team. And you get special compliments for being instrumental. I must say that this time around we have a democratic president, and you were active during the presidential election days also. Talk to me about those days when you were reaching out to people, and indeed pre-COVID position of previous President Trump was pretty strong, but leaving aside what was there in terms of the top political conversations, from your point of view at Edison on ground level, how was your role in making it happen?
So I want to, I'm the chairman of the Edison Democratic Organization. We have 156 committee men and women are delegates, right? So all the committee men and women work, day in and out, right? During the last year's election to help, our president get elected. And I'm really proud to lead such a diverse team, not only in terms of coming from different ethnic backgrounds, but also coming from different age groups, and also different professions. So, I'm really proud of all the hard work that Edison, the Democratic Party committee men and women put to get all the, the local candidates elected, to the county candidates elected, to the state level, to the presidents, right? So this all starts here at the grassroots level. They work canvassing door to door. They go, to put on the signs, and they get all the Democratic candidates elected.
Wonderful.
Those are
Absolutely.
and again, I'm proud of them for working this months to get our new president and vice president elected.
Very, very good. So, with that taste of recent success, and as you move towards mayoral candidate in Edison for Democratic primary, share the date when you have your elections, and very briefly, anything in particular that you would like your potential voters as well as community members to know about your vision.
Correct. So, the election is on June 8th. Me and my teammates are running on column B. So one of the things that I want to mention is, me and my team are the only team that was democratically elected by the committee members, 156 committee members on February 24th. And my opponent, who is running for the mayor, has been undemocratically handpicked and been put onto the position to run against our team. And you if you understand, that the county wants to control a candidate to still continue with the status quo of giving the no bid contracts, and keep the township services in a similar way. So I hope the viewers of ITV give me and my team opportunity, who are grassroots level organizers who have been democratically elected to serve this community for the next 4 years.
Very, very good, Maheshi, and I really appreciate you with your dedication, passion, commitment, vision, and dreams to serve. But as we conclude, with your permission, I would just like to underline the contrast. The name is Democratic Party, but you just said that they have undemocratically given preference over you to other
Yes.
team. So hopefully things get resolved and they reach to a harmonious and bright situation
Yes.
and setup. It's indeed a pleasure to talk to you, Maheshji, always, and I wish lots and lots of luck with good wishes, and thanks for joining us here at ITV Gold. Namaste.
Thank you, namaste. And I'm humbly asking all my elders for the blessings and to support our team on June 8th.
Very, very good. Once again, talking to Mahesh Bhagia, mayoral candidate at Edison. This is Ashok Vyas thanking you for being a part of this conversation. Namaste.
Thank you.